Hi, welcome to another episode of Speaking with Experience. I'm Kurt and I'm with Bangert Inc. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the problem with the build hour when it comes to providing services around software. For many years, decades, the way most software services were delivered was at an hourly rate. Okay, so the typical course of events is simply, you look at a demo, you decide, you get a quote, you buy the software. On that quote will be an estimate of the number of hours required to bring you from 0 to fully functional. Now, there's a challenge with that too, which is there's no real way to accurately estimate exactly what your team will need when it comes to consulting hours. There's no real way to do that. The salesperson nor anyone else really knows your people that well. They don't know their attitudes toward change. They really don't know a lot of things. So what happens is they take the best estimate they can based on prior experience, and that's what you're going to get. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. Basing an estimate on past experience is a pretty common thing to do across a lot of industries. However, it does set up an expectation with you as a customer that that's the budget. Let's say it's $40,000, for instance. That's the budget. Well, the likelihood is that won't really end up being the budget, and it is very unlikely that it'll be less than whatever was quoted. It'll more likely be somewhere more, because what you can't control is things like, someone on your team just doesn't learn as quickly as someone else, or they don't learn as well from that consultant as other people are. So there could be some repetitive work, things like that. The other thing that it does, though, it does leave you open to change orders. So when you're on that bill hourly rate, well, they're billing you by the hour. Whatever you use, you're going to pay for. That holds a fair amount of risk, and I think that it's something you should be aware of and think about carefully before you enter into that type of an arrangement. Everybody, I'm going to tell you, everybody's certainly wanting to do the best. There's no doubt about that. It's not a underhanded thing. It's not anything other than the system itself. The way it works is really the problem. And from a reseller standpoint, I contend it's not sustainable, nor is it customer friendly. It is really an idea, a practice, in my view, that should end in reality. And that's what we've done here at Bangert. We've ended that. We don't have hourly billing rates. We don't do any of that. A very close cousin, and it's all the rage today, is charging on a subscription basis. Well, yeah, that's interesting. However, oftentimes those subscriptions are metered, which means that you pay a monthly subscription for a specified amount of services on a specified schedule. It's really just another way of billing time, and our contention here at Bangert is that you should be buying knowledge, not time. So if you're paying by the hour, you're paying for a metered subscription, you're really buying time. You're not buying that transfer of knowledge from a consultant to you and your staff. You're just not. You're buying their time. That time could be highly effective and productive, or it may not be. You just never know. The other thing that enters into the equation is that it opens up the opportunity for you as a customer to start steering the ship, meaning that you'll get engaged with in a session and somebody will go, hey, we really need to do XYZ over here. Now, XYZ may not be what you should actually do in its sequence. But because you're insistent and because consultants naturally want to help people, they'll go off and do XYZ. without really thinking about the budget and time impact of taking that side road when they should have stayed on the main road and kept going without interruption. So what happens with a hourly billing scenario oftentimes is that there's no proven process that's followed by all. And here at Bangert, that's a key core part of what we do. We firmly believe that a proven process followed by all is where we all come to a successful point. And the hourly billing just doesn't lend itself well to that. One-to-one consulting, hourly billing, or metered subscriptions, they just simply don't lend themselves to that. And it's truly unsustainable. Think about if you've ever been through an implementation before, it's likely you're not going to say that was the most fun we've ever had. Now, which is understandable. Think of all the things that come around it. When you're going by the hour, that means you're scheduling time. You're scheduling, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours at a time. And if something comes up that prompts you to cancel that, you may not be able to get back in front of that consultant for a number of days or a couple weeks even. There are times where the good consultants typically have an extreme workload, for instance. And in those cases, they may have to cancel on you to put out someone else's fire, for instance, in some cases at least. All that adds up to additional costs in the end for you, pushes your timeline, and it's really an unsatisfactory experience. There's a reason why people that have gone through software implementations don't really like going through software implementations. It's not a pleasant process in 90% of the cases. So what we've done here at Bangert is we've created the Bangert deployment system. The Bangert deployment system allows you as a customer to go as quickly or as slowly as you want. You build one number once, one time, and you get access to all of our knowledge on demand. Think about that. You get access to all of our knowledge on demand, which allows you to go at the pace you want. It also constrains you, which you may see as a negative, but I'm telling you it's not. It constrains you to a specific path that's proven to be successful. And when you're on that path, you can get impatient. However, I'm going to tell you, be patient, because we know for a fact that our customers that know the most about their software are the happiest and they get the most return on their investment. So the Bangert deployment process is specifically and intentionally designed to make sure you know everything you need to know about the software. It's designed for anytime access. It's totally designed for success, and it's designed to bring you to success in the least amount of time. We never have a change order. You'll never pay more. It's guaranteed. We guarantee you'll never pay more for your deployment. So we think it's a better way. It's proven to be so far. And I'll tell you to go watch our customer videos. Let them tell you what the process is like. Let them tell you how easy it was to go through it, because they will tell you that. And how unlike any other implementation they've ever experienced it was, and how it is such a breath of fresh air. So anyway, that's my message for today. Think long and hard about the one-to-one consulting model and the build hour or metered subscriptions before you enter into them. They certainly can be successful. It's been done that way for years. However, it is the hard way. There are better ways now, and I'd encourage you to look into it. Thanks.